We should be recording. Hello, everyone. If you're hearing this, that means this was successful. If you did not hear this, I guess you won't know anyway. So, welcome to the Class Prefects in Isolation, brought to you by no
You
sponsors.
sound like you sound like you're inside. I don't know where you are.
Inside, it means I'm
Hey
in my
guys,
house. I'm in my house where you
what's
should
going
all be.
on?
So,
Guys, we're recording via
don't mention it because they
technology.
are not paying us. Thank you. We're
I
recording
said
via
that
technology.
technology. So like just for I had just for one in case of like sound quality and everything, but just manage, it's better than us not doing anything. So how's everybody doing? What's going on with everyone?
Yeah, and
Hope
if you want to
everybody's good,
know
Sha.
what the software is, you can pay for my class.
Ooh, you have a class?
Well, I do now. If you're inquisitive,
Hey guys, hey everyone. One last one.
you have to leave like a 5-second delay. If not, we're going to be talking over each other because we cannot see. So,
Oh, okay, fair.
or we can't use video because we don't have 5G. So,
Okay, wow, 5G. Okay,
we'll have to manage
right.
this. Yeah, so guys, it's been 2 months now since this whole craziness really
What was our
got.
last episode?
Our last episode was social media week.
Wow.
Because I think it was like 2 weeks after that, the COVID stuff started to spread in the news. And then shortly after that, we're like, okay, everything is on lockdown. Because that happened like the week after my birthday. So that was like March.
Yay.
And we're in May. Wow. So 2 months, guys. But you guys have still been listening, thankfully. Statistics.
I feel like normally whenever we have an excuse, like normally let's say you don't bring an episode and you have an excuse, but like now, guys, please, Corona is the reason why.
I have nothing to say. I have nothing to defend. If you turn on the news, okay, that's the reason. I have absolutely nothing to say. But we're back now. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is at home, isolated, drinking water, and not going crazy like some of our friends are with the theories and things. So I don't even think we need to do a highs and lows because wow, what did that come from my throat? I don't think we need to do a highs and lows. So we're just going to go
Because
into
everything is just low, right?
it's just like wow. Well, I'm going to assume everybody
I feel like this looks like
has the same highs and lows.
the high was life, the low is Corona.
Yeah. I don't think anybody is like starting businesses or making millions. I'm sure some people are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Except for like the Nigerian politicians, people that are recovering Abacha's money, those ones.
Oh my God, Abacha's money! Wow.
Abacha,
anyway, that's not the topic for today, and we're in a timely manner. So we're starting off with coronavirus. Now, I am not a medical professional by any means, but I feel like, because sometimes, so someone sent me a story. There's this documentary called Pandemic. I think that's the name, or Pandemos, or something silly. And it's funded by this usual, like, right-wing people that push all these crazy things around. And while I do admit, yes, there's been some suspicious activity by the Chinese government, by the US government, by the Nigerian governments with regards to COVID and the numbers and where the money is going and who is producing the test kit. There's a lot of politics that's going on. But I feel like because people are bad does not mean that science becomes irrelevant. A virus is not transmitted by a cellular network, please. If there's one thing you remember from this whole episode, just remember this. MTN, Orange, T-Mobile, AT&T cannot give you coronavirus. Please, I beg. I'm very worried.
I would like to believe. No, I would like to believe that people that listen to us are not. I feel like they're not that gullible. I hope so. I pray so.
The people who have been sending me the messages, I thought so as well, but alas, and if you're listening, I've told you this to your face, so it's not shade, but yeah, it's very weird the things I've been hearing. The rumors, the hysteria, and I get it that people just want some kind of answers because everything else is out of control. But don't just manufacture random things. This is science. A virus has, certain characteristics, it has certain makeups and everything, and it has certain ways to be cured. So I don't really think it's helpful. My friends, please, not my actual friends in real life because my friends are smart, but I mean my friends on the
Wow.
street and your friends, please, let's stop spreading panic. No, I've heard so many crazy things. Like people, like the 5G thing has stuck out because I think even some leaders and pastors and all these people have been taking it up as well. And it literally makes no sense. We had 1G, 2G, 3. Why is it 5? Why is that the number that was okay? This is the G that's going to kill all of us. Why is it
Don't
this?
kill me.
It's
Don't
so
kill
weird.
me.
Like your microwave is stronger than if a 5G wave reaching your house from a cell tower. So I don't understand what this is about. Please, guys, let's be educated. Yes, there's some shady stuff going on. Okay? The Chinese government was shady with what they did. The United States was shady. The Nigerian government is probably building houses in Switzerland. But all that has nothing to do with the virus. So please stay in your house.
Yeah.
And to those who think it's a hoax and who think it's unnecessary,
Shalom.
I mean, those who
That's
died in the
all I'm telling
plague,
you. Shalom.
those who died in all the plagues, we don't know them today. So
Which plague are you talking about?
all
Where's
the
the
plagues
Bible?
in history, all the Black Plague, the Great Plague, even if you want to add the biblical plagues in, those
That's what,
who
actually, that's
listen,
what my mind was to. That's what my mind was to. Biblical thing.
yeah, those who didn't listen, their
Can I ask you
line
a
is
question?
ended.
Can I ask you a question? Can I
You
ask you a
may
question?
ask. Mm.
So I feel like in this period, as someone said, I remember I've spoken to the person who told the joke, or either I read it on my TL or something like that. That in this period now, if you see somebody like building an ark and trying to do like he's like Noah and like the end is coming and just would you enter?
Of course not. What kind of nonsense is that? Why
Why
am I
should you enter?
I beg you.
And
See,
like, no. And like,
no.
wait, hold on. And like, let's say like CNN comes and the news and everything should come and like, you start seeing like everything that happened. I'm sure you know the Bible story, but like,
I
let's say
also
like
know the
two of
movie Bruce
so,
Almighty.
hold on, wait now. Yes, not I'm saying, so hold on, wait. But like,
Mm-hmm.
let's say it becomes a whole sensation, like a whole thing on the internet, and like
Mm-hmm.
two horses, dogs, like everything. Me, on my own, I'm not going to try.
I'm not entering. I mean, I hope for
It's
your
better.
sake.
It's better to. I feel like no. Hear me. I feel like highest. Let's say he says the thing is happening on Sunday the 16th. I'll try it. If it doesn't happen, it just come out. It just better to come.
Okay, I mean, I
Yeah, I'll
hope for
try to
your
come out. I'll try
sake
to come out.
there's social distancing in the ark. If not, you come out with many diseases that you did not go in with. I'm not really trying to do that. So no, see this Wi-Fi, please cooperate. I'm literally, I'm not even breathing close to the Wi-Fi so that it will not spoil. Please, I beg. Please,
Oh my
please.
God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to cut you short. I'm so sorry. Like I just said, as I'm talking to you now, I was scrolling through something, and just quickly, just a quick segue. There's this thing on Twitter that's been going around about Yvonne Orji, and she said, "Note to friends, yeah, if you are calling to ask for a favor, at least fake like you're interested in your friend's life before you ask. Just say, and like so, everybody like that. So, do you are you a fan of that or you? I prefer if you're calling me, go straight to the point, tell me what you want, and then let's push it. I feel like I feel no, hear me. I feel like I feel like normally, like the normal formal thing to do is you don't just go ask to like there's a polite manner, ask for a favor, like, oh hey, what's up? And then get to it. But I feel like in the way I feel most people are taking it for the first time reading it, how I took it for that. I feel it's pretentious to call if I let's say I want to ask you for money in a manual. And me and you haven't spoken, we speak every day, but let's say we haven't spoken like let's say 2 months now, yeah? I'll just be like, hey man, what's up? You're good? Yeah, I'm good. all right, but I need a favor. I feel like that should wait. It's not, oh, hey, how are you? How is life? Oh, Corona, oh, now, wow. like, I feel like, oh, how far the podcast? How far you? Like, I feel like all that is like, it's fake. I don't really care about it. But I want something from you. So let me just ask and get it because I feel like people don't have time to wait. Like, I feel like, let me know what's your time. Because if eventually I now ask you what I want to ask you, I feel like I'll come up as, oh, then why were you just talking about all these things initially? Do you get what I mean? Or what do you think?
Well, those of us who were raised with manners and things
Wow.
of that nature. I'm just joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So first, I mean, so this conversation, I don't know if you're watching this season of Insecure, but
I'm still in confession.
this
I'm still in season
season,
one, but I'm
well,
following via Twitter.
that's
I
a
know what's happening
problem
here.
for you to handle. So this season is basically about friendships. I believe that that's what the theme seems to be. And on the
Yeah.
last episode, Issa called Molly, which is Yvonne's character, and asked for a favor. So she wanted Molly's boyfriend, who works in a record label, to help her book an artist for her show. And this show is very important to Issa. Just think like if we were doing a live show and we
Yeah.
wanted Dobra to perform, how we would just
Okay.
call him and we would expect Dobra to perform because he's our friend, right?
Shout out to Dobra. Shout out to
Shout out
Dobra.
to
Yeah.
Dobra, excellent singer, greatest hits. Follow him on Instagram. And so, but Dobra will now be like, no, because Dobra feels like we've not spoken in a long time. And he feels like this is just like we don't care about him. So basically, in the show, Issa has not really been talking to Molly. They've not really been seeing
Okay.
eye to eye. And then all of a sudden, Issa just calls and is like, oh, can you help me do this favor? Which normally Molly would have done. But I feel like she's just trying to
So
make a
I feel like
point. Like,
fair,
no.
fair, but no, but in the two instances now, what I said, the first one I said, yeah, I think I said, me and you now, the difference in these two things, I feel like it's because it's not much, not that time just made them fall out. They had an issue that made them fall out, right?
No, they didn't really have a specific issue. It's just like there's certain when you just don't talk to your friends for a while and then things start to get miscommunicated. And it just so none of them did something I can say was bad to the other person. It's just like Issa
Okay.
doesn't like the way Molly used to behave. Molly doesn't like the way Issa used to behave sometimes. And normally that's the normal part of any like
Fair, 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 fair.
but it became greater because they were not talking about it and saying, "Oh,
Okay.
I feel like the way you're behaving is like way blah, 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 blah." And on the other hand, it's also like Molly knows how important this party is to Issa because it's a huge deal for her. So she should put this
Yeah.
aside. I feel that Molly should have put it aside because this is something like imagine if somebody was coming to sign you and you're on the line,
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
expect your friend who you've been friends with for
Yeah.
years,
Yeah. No
even
matter
if
person, she's put to the
exactly,
side.
exactly, even if we're fighting, you know that this is a big deal for me. So I feel like Molly should have put it
Yeah.
aside.
I feel like at the end of the day, we can always reconcile, but this opportunity might not be there again. Yeah.
Exactly,
All right, sorry.
and it's
We
a
segue.
thing.
I mean, we took a
Segue.
detour.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean
go back to
insecure.
let's go back to Corona.
See now I can add hashtag insecure in the episode, so don't worry.
Yeah.
It's all inside there.
So, but I don't I don't feel like Corona, but like people have been dealing with this stuff for about 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it might be
Oh
too
my god, this
gloomy and
Wi-Fi
stuff for them to hear.
is being
Like, oh my
silly.
god. So I feel like this is the Black Mirror episode that has not like there's no we are still in the beginning of the movie. We are still in the beginning part of Black Mirror. That's where we are right now.
Well, we're in the beginning part of the virus
Yeah.
because people seem to forget that if you think back to Ebola and think back to SARS, those things actually lasted for a long time. But the difference was that we were not confined to our homes. So we
Really?
could move around. Yeah, Ebola and
No,
SARS went
no,
on for a while before they found the cures and the vaccines, but we could move around. So we were not
oh
paying
my,
attention to how long it took.
I'm so sorry. I'm about to ask a question that might sound ignorant. Please just edit this part out if I sound stupid. Wait, Ebola was Ebola contagious? Like
Ebola was
is it
contagious,
by touch?
not by touch. Like you have to
Not
come in
not by
contact
physical
with.
contact.
you have to come in contact with the body fluids of the person. So, like, if I sneeze, you won't get Ebola. But if there's a cut
But like
or somebody dies or something and you're
like
touching them,
same way you get AIDS, like something like that. Same way you get AIDS, something like that.
not really, because AIDS is a sexually transmitted disease.
No.
You know,
No. What about blood? As in, if you are sharing clippers, people have the
yeah, I
same
mean,
same place.
all those are also, but like if I pour a
It's fluid
bucket
now.
of,
It's fluid now. It's fluid.
yeah, but it's not the same as AIDS. It's not transmitted the same way.
Okay, fair.
It's more
And
contagious.
did Ebola have any physical? Like, could you tell by the person's like? Did he have any physical features? The issue on the face. Like,
I
could
mean,
you
if
tell?
people are vomiting blood, that's pretty physical. So,
No. No. I'm just trying to compare it to Corona. How you don't really know if you have Corona. Do you know what I mean? Like,
if
it's
you
not.
got
It doesn't show on your
Ebola,
face.
you would know you had Ebola within 2 or 3 days. It wasn't like, oh,
Fair.
you will be on bed rest immediately. So it was really bad.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. So
Fair.
even
All right.
there have actually been quite a few. Like bird flu was there as well. So I think this is different because it is a really contagious thing,
It's
and
cleaning lives, man.
it is actually like killing people. The numbers are up for debate, but we know that people are dying because we know people, either via Instagram or people we know who have lost a parent
I know,
or
I
somebody or
but
something.
I don't know anybody who has passed away, but I know. Funny enough, I have two friends who are in New York. Shout out to you guys. But like they had, and then they came out of it. But they're not up to
They're
30 years
younger.
old. Like they're
Yeah.
still, yeah, they're younger. So I feel like that also has
Yeah, because there's an at-risk age. But I think, I will see as we record more episodes, because now we
Please,
have no
guys, we are not
excuse.
doctors. We are not doctors. In case we sound ignorant, please, we are not
I
doctors. We are
mean, I
just
am,
people
I
like.
am,
I
you
know.
don't
I
sound
don't. You know
ignorant,
what? You
girl.
know, I just feel like maybe there's somebody who's just like, what the fuck are these motherfuckers saying? I'm like,
Yeah,
sorry,
you're
no,
doing
thank
worse in your WhatsApp group. Please don't disturb me. Beg. This
All
is
right,
an
are you
entertaining
done, Corona?
conversation. So yeah, I think I'm just it's mostly just like everyone just be careful, wash your
5G doesn't
hands.
exist, guys.
5G exists, it doesn't give you corona.
Thank you.
And before we move on, I would just like to advise, because I know people are wearing like gloves and masks and things of that nature. If you're
I know what you want
wearing
to say.
gloves, right? It doesn't. If you're wearing a glove, a glove. If you're wearing gloves, wow. I mean, or a glove. Some people are wearing one. I don't know your life. If you're wearing gloves and you're
God got
touching
you. I
your
thought you
phone
told you.
and you're touching your shades and you're touching your laptop, there's no point of you really wearing those gloves. There's something called cross contamination, right? Very
You got it.
self-explanatory. If I touch coronavirus and I touch something else, I have contaminated that surface, right? So if there's corona on your gloved hands, it might be protecting your skin from it, but if you touch something else you're going to touch later, i.e., your phone, you're defeating the purpose. Also, if you're wearing a mask and the mask is below your nose because you cannot breathe, newsflash, it's better to not be able to breathe because of a mask than the coronavirus. So you choose a momentary loss of breath or you need an oxygen
Man.
tank. It's your choice.
Wow.
Please wear your mask properly. Over your
Wow.
nose and under your mouth. That's it. So yeah, I think that's just. I mean, we'll talk about this more because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
You know.
Don't be negative. It's a good Jesus' name, man.
Well, let's see how that helps you. let's see. Let's see. And also, one last thing, please. For some reason, people think that the comment section of the NCDC Twitter post is where they can gain followers. Every time I go there, it's like, oh, follow,
Oh my God, what?
follow me back, follow, like this tweet, and
Are
I'll
you
follow
serious?
you, follow to
Are you
unfollow.
serious?
If you go there
Are you
today,
serious?
try it today, Michael. Go to Twitter or anybody, go to NCDC, click on the update for the day with the numbers and check the first 20 comments will be follow me back, follow for follow. I'll follow everybody that likes this comment. I'm just like, I don't
Yeah,
understand.
kind of.
I'm confused.
These people price are different. Allow them.
What are you using the followers to do?
Different.
Are you looking for people to
Leave
attend your Zoom funeral? What is
your
it?
church.
What's going on? Please, let's be guided, I beg. Anyway, and moving on to, I guess this is also a Twitter story, that hit a bit close to home for us on this show. But before we get
Oh my
to
God.
the Twitter, Denola now, my dear, please, are
Oh,
you
oh,
reading the
oh,
chat
oh,
that has
oh,
the
oh.
agenda? The agenda is in your chat.
And wow. Oh, I just saw
You
it
see
now.
it?
Sorry.
Oh, that should say Nikki, not Mickey. That's Nikki and Beyonce.
I
Please,
guess
not
I'm looking
Mickey.
at you.
Anyway, so
New music.
so
From there.
that's how we are ending the show with the music.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Adele posted a picture, and in that picture she has lost a really significant amount of weight, and props to her, kudos to her. And if you've been watching Adele, this weight loss wasn't overnight. She has been losing weight slowly for like the past 3 or 4 years. And then obviously as you lose small and small, it adds up. So no one has said the figures.
I feel like she was also going through a divorce, so that might have
divorce is a thing of joy. She has been losing weight before she even got married.
No, I'm telling you, you're getting me. I said like I need to see a thing of how much you're supposed to pay the man or something like that. Like some obscene amount of millions. And like some weeks before that came out, there was some photos of her yelling and looking aggressive on the phone, shouting at somebody. Did you see those? Yes, I'm not saying maybe she was also a lot of like stress. Like when you're going through some stuff, you can just like I'm not trying to say that's what caused it, but I'm just saying she has been away from the news, and those are the real things we knew about her prior to this photo. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, continue.
Well, those photos were like from when? Like mid of last year.
But you couldn't really tell. Yeah, we couldn't really see anything about weight-wise. I didn't really see weight-wise.
Check on her Instagram. You don't follow her on Instagram, so it's fine. But she's been losing weight for a while, and I'm not going to attribute her weight loss to a useless man. I don't know where he is right now. He's suffering.
But also, just before we even get to what you're about to talk about, I saw it about people now really saying, why is everybody saying Adele glowed up just because she lost people?
Yes.
You can just say she lost it. It doesn't mean like, she has transformed for the better.
That she's better than who she was before, yes.
Yeah.
Which I have mixed feelings about, because I feel like at a certain, like, the issue of weight is very delicate, because
fair.
The intersection of health and body positivity and all that stuff is not easy to navigate, because
I'm so sorry. So sorry. I said what? So sorry. But I just say something. You don't say something that I'm not triggered me, but just something like I'm not just a fan. Like, hear me, you Nigerian people, if you're listening to this. Hear me. I'm not just a fan of when people talk about people who are plus size, and then the first thing everybody wants to scream is, it's not some part shaming, but health. But like there are a lot of muscular fit people, quote and unquote, that are alcoholics, that are potheads, that are like they're all like people who are diabetic. Like those ones are the ones you can say, oh, what is your like? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, health is not just because you are big. Like, it's what you're eating. Like, I don't like the whole narrative of, I'm just trying to take care, as in so far you are shy health. Like, I'm just like, human beings supposed to be healthy, not just fat people, or not just close like people. You know what I'm just like, I don't just like that whole, health, I'm big. Everybody
but even within that, there's still a balance, because this is why I say it's a delicate issue. If you look at America, because there are very few countries that collect data, not very few, actually, most countries do. Nigeria just doesn't. So if you look at a country like America now, and specifically focus on African American people, because their diet, even America in general, to be fair, a leading cause of death and all these things, heart disease, obesity, stuff. So there is some truth in the fact that if you are a certain size, because
Definitely, yes,
I
of
see the
course, of course,
pushback
of
where
course.
people are like, oh, do you know what I had for breakfast? But it's like, my dear, at the end of the day, you cannot tell me that you're eating salad and this is what is happening. There's a certain area it gets into, this is actually not healthy, but it's also not my
Of
business
course, of
and not
course,
my
of course.
place
No,
to
no,
come
no,
and be
no,
like,
no,
oh, let me come and help you
no, no,
change
no,
your life.
no, I'm just like, listen, throwing in, forget Ado for a sec, throwing in Lizzo now. Lizzo cannot put any picture on this life where people will just go and start doing, oh, listen,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
this
fat,
Julia
you are this,
Michaels,
you
I
are
mean,
that.
wasn't there this fitness, no, I'm just saying because there's this fitness trainer, I think her name is Julia Michaels, I'm not
Julia
sure.
Michaels, yes, that silly woman.
Yes, yes. So she was always like coming for Lizzo, and I'm just like, nobody knows this babe's health history. Just
And the
that,
gang
first of
is
all, she's
Lizzo is
now an
actually
artist.
working
And
out. So, my
no,
dear.
no, no, so no, like I'm saying, you're an artist now. Yes, she has growth, she has mass success. She performs countless times. You don't know performing takes like, I mean,
It takes energy.
it's a form of exercise. So I'm just trying to say, like, yes, people who are bigger have more tendency to be, at a health risk. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying that shouldn't just like. I feel like
It's not
some,
automatically that they are just like,
yes, it's not everybody who is big that is sick or that has health issue. Like no, like yeah, like that's just. I feel like if I need to, I'm not sure if I explained myself well, but I feel like that's just the
I mean,
underlying issue. I'm like,
you
not
did,
everybody
and
who
that's
is
why
big.
that's it is very delicate because there are some things that, for example, something like diabetes now is something that is very closely linked to your size
Yeah,
and your weight. So many of these people
yeah,
are either diabetic or pre-diabetic or something in that range. So while does I say while there's some
fair.
truth, but also it's also like it's not anybody's business. Like people who are bigger, guess what? They know they are bigger. They have to buy their size of clothes. They know what size they are. So it's not productive. Like, oh my God, you're so fat. I know. I just bought a 4X
You're not,
jeans.
you're not,
I know.
you're not breaking news. You're not breaking news.
It's like thank you. It's like, oh, the sky is blue. I'm like, I can see it. It's thank you. Like, do you have
Anyway,
anything else to say?
this corona period, everybody's listening. We'll see now.
I mean, so I think it's just like, and this leads us to our next point actually, when our friend and very very love and light individual, unlike me,
Okay.
Denola tweeted that people should stop commenting on Adele's body, and I think Adele is very
No,
interesting
no, no.
because
So the quote was stop comment. The quote was, I
stop
think
commenting on
somebody.
other people's bodies, my dear.
No, 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 no. What? No, I'm saying he quoted a tweet which had before and after of Adele's transformation. So it was a negative comment as to I think, oh, I prefer Adele when she was bigger. So I think that's like I
I
prefer her
didn't
when she was
even
bigger.
I didn't take that comment
So
as negative to
some
be honest. It
no,
was
no, no,
a
no, no.
comment.
I'm saying no, no. The way the tweet was, I'm not sure if I wanted it, but it was in a negative light because a lot of people were
Uh,
like, "Wow, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't." Like when Adele was people insulting her weight, she has lost people are still insulting her weight. But
no,
I'm
it
just like
wasn't
the
negative.
person.
The tweet was talking about the fact that she's skinny now and something like that. So it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
fat
So so
shaming
so
Adele
so
in that way.
yeah. No, no, no. The tweet wasn't. But he quoted on that. He said, "Stop commenting on people's bodies." That's what he said. Not even. He was like, "Stop commenting on people's bodies." Then you can go on. Continue from there.
Yeah, basically, and let me see, we might have to go on a break because finances. But Uh, should we just,
That's okay.
so basically, some person, we're never going to say their name,
Forward.
now went back for reasons I don't understand because the first issue I have with this person is what Denala said was not something negative. It was not a bad thing. It is something that is true and correct. Whether Denala is the one that said it or Tyra Banks, somebody else who was also recently just dragged, said it. The statement "stop
Now,
commenting on people's bodies" is a factually correct and something that is a factually correct statement, and something that people should stop doing. So I had a problem with him. I don't know what his issue with it was. And so he went back to Denola's older tweets from 2010, 2011. And Deola at that
9 years ago.
9 years ago, Deola was in his late teens. You know, he was a student in America in New York at the
No,
time.
no, with that.
So it's kind of like, why?
Me, here's what I feel before we even start the discussion, yeah? And I think me and you've spoken about it personally. Here's my thing about this going back things, as in going back to your tweet, especially like 9 years ago, for example. And not that we are biased just because it's general our friends, but just here, this is my own opinion, yeah? I feel like most people, the people who champion cancel culture, people who champion going back to check your tweets, people who do that, are people that were not even allowed, like they were kids when we were using Twitter, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If these people, like especially that person, let's see what you were tweeting years ago, because years ago, things like body positivity was not people doing, as we'll get to that, but I'm just saying, things like we were not really able to throw in the
can I say,
thing as
well. Through a thing.
Yes, are you free?
Yes, so there's the argument of people have. Okay, I've lost my train of thought. Continue.
So hold on. What? Sorry to scatter your head. But here's what I'm saying. I'm saying what General said was ignorant and dumb and stupid, because he shouldn't have said that, I feel. And at the same time, even if he wasn't saying it to somebody at that point in time, like people who followed him at that point in time, even if he wasn't famous, people who followed him at that point in time might have been offended and might have seen those tweets and be like, I felt TV. Do you understand? That was them. But I'm saying you are not your past, no? So this is not the first time of speaking about body. Do you get? Yeah. Clearly, as he has gotten to the public, as he has been able to show body positivity and like speak on it, being people have always called him skinny. Do you understand? On the other end of the spectrum, like so different people get different things. So I'm sure he was coming from the way of let people just be, like it's not your business going to somebody's shape or size. So my back to what I was saying with the whole classic thing, I'm like, people are so quick to, I'm like, especially with that person, I was like, your point for trying to now bring back some of his old tweets, is it to negate what he's saying? Because that was my confusion as well. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, you're just proving to be a fool, because I want some sort of retweet. I'm like, after today, nobody talks about you again. Like, your 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the thing has gone. So
I think what he got was like 20 followers from the thing. I'm like, congratulations.
At the end of the day, I'm just like, we cancel culture especially. I'm just like, you have to think of it. And what I was saying before, you have to throw in Tyra too. People's episodes, people have been finding all episodes of Tyra of America's Next Top Model, forgetting the fact that this woman was the first person. To me, I feel Tyra Banks was the person who infused fashion and reality shows together. It was because of America's Next Top Model that was a big success, that they had the face, that they had Project Runway, that they had other things. So, yes, the show was problematic. Yes, Tyra did some stupid things, like trying to paint a white girl's face black. I understand, but when you know, you do better, because at that point in time, things like race, it wasn't really a topic. Things like body positivity was not really a topic. And you're supposed to like Tyra from...
But it was not a topic for who, Michael?
No, hear me. I'm saying we were not really having those conversations at that point in time. People like Ashley
no, but we were having those conversations at that point in time. They were. They just were not at the level they are now, because social media did not exist in the way it does now.
Hear me. That's what I'm saying. So where would you have conversations? This is not from social media.
In person, in human person, in person.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no way for that the conversation to cut across to several people. That's what I'm saying. With the use of social media, which played a huge role. It's not from social media that they're able to see all these old videos of Cyberbank now. I'm saying, and if you follow,
but that has nothing to do with. That has to do with the dissemination of the information and getting more people to see it.
Yes, but I'm saying if you follow America's Next Top Model now, back even
Mm-hmm.
the last season, the last cycle I had with the Aura as the host and the rest,
Mm-hmm.
the whole Tara changed from the whole thing to the and the thing is to be honest and sincere, what Tara was dumb, yes, but at the end of the day, Tara, I felt like early season Tara, she was representing the industry. I feel like what like it's a different thing. What if Taliban should come and say, "Oh yes, everybody come, plus size, dark skin, do this," and everybody come, and then she makes the Americans next top model, and you enter into the industry and no, you don't get a job, you don't get anything. Like I'm just saying, I thought as she was on the show, she was representing what the industry was at that point in time, because new Tara in the new seasons of cycle, whatever with social media and the rest, where she was now celebrating individuality. So celebrating uniqueness. Like if you follow the late seasons, the cycle 20 to 21, like the ones they did like from 2015 downwards. You get, I mean, I'm saying that was not she wasn't preaching the same message she was preaching in the old season. So that just to me, and to tie it with the whole general thing, I'm like, when you know better, you do better. It's really a different thing if Kabak of today opens her mouth to start vomiting the garbage she was saying
Mm-hmm.
at the first season. Then you'll be like, okay, this one is crazy. Do you know, I hope I'm making that kind of. I'm just saying, at that point in time, I will put for that fact that she was ignorant, she didn't know no better. Do you get me? She had a good intention to try and make avenue for models, but she went about it in the wrong way. Dana was a regular old teenager. No, he was not famous. He was nobody. He was just on his own. A kid in New York living his life, reckless. How many mistakes have we made as teenagers? But there was no internet to catch us. So, like, I'm just trying to say that people are not perfect. So, I'm a fan of giving people the chance to explain it. Like, there are people that
Mm-hmm.
they've gone back to their old tweets and they're like, well, fuck that. I thought that way. That's what I said. I said what I said. You can't catch me. Like, you can't beat me. Then you can be like, okay, this person is crazy. I mean, I feel like not even that you can counter it, but you can choose to just say, okay, this person is stuck in their ways. This is who they are. This is what I mean. Do you know what I mean? But at that point, when the person brought out the last old tweets, which were fatphobic and all that, I feel like as soon as he said, oh, yes, I apologize, this was stupid of me, and what General had. So I'm just like, so, sir, what does that make you? It makes you a hypocrite. It makes you a fool. Because you know you do that to that person's tweet. And I was able to see that this person had even worse tweets than what
Mm-hmm.
General
Mm-hmm.
had. So I'm just like, so, sir, what does that make you? It makes you a hypocrite. It makes you a fool.
I mean,
Because you
everyone
know
at the
you
end
have
of the
the.
day is a hypocrite.
No. But at the end of the day, I feel like, at the end of the day, I, myself, God, for God's sake, Shani O'Neill from Basketball Wise has me blocked. Like, I've had my own share of being an internet troll. Like I trust me, I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a thing where I didn't know any better. I was a teenager, and you cannot catch me at my age at time fighting somebody on the internet for what. Like it's not me. And shout out to that do that. That's for them. But just saying, when you know now, I know better, so I do better. If I see things like that, like obviously since we all good, there are times where you see some things on the internet where you just be like, this one's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You want to even type. Like I've seen myself type, even like trying to type. I just like it's not worth it. You will delete the whole tweet. But I'm just saying now I know better. So at least you should hold me to a different standard now. If you see me doing things like that, you can be like, okay, Michael, that was stupid of you. But if you
Mm-hmm.
see tweets of me when Twitter first started, when nobody even knew what Twitter was, and knew, okay, in the future, this was, do you get what I'm saying? Like, then, who were tweeting rubbish? Who were tweeting stupid things? So
Yeah, but I
you shouldn't
mean,
just base
there's
your
still
judgment.
it's not based on see there are differences between Tyra Banks and what she did and what Denola may or may not have tweeted when he was a younger person with maybe 200 or 100 people who were following him at the time. Now, I don't believe that Tyra Banks did not know what she was doing. I believe most of these TV shows, if you ask people who have gone on X Factor, on American Idol, they tell you that these shows are just productions and they are more about entertainment and they don't actually care about the contestants. How many top model people are working in the industry today? Maybe five or six, right? Tyra Banks at the time, and I said this as well, had a TV. Now, let me just start by saying I don't think Tyra Banks should be cancelled. But I also do not think that she is as like out of it as people are saying. She had a show on her Tyra Banks show, right? And on that, and people are even saying that the clips from the show are even worse than America's Next Top Model. That she did some crazy things. That there's an episode where she
Yeah,
has
there's an episode where
everybody
she
wear their
everybody
wigs
to
on
wear
their t-shirts
their
or
wigs. Yeah,
something. So,
yeah,
but I'm not saying that Tyra did an episode on that show on body shaming, right? And somebody body shamed her because she was in a swimsuit on the beach. And we all remember that
yeah,
picture. It's
yeah,
from a while ago, a picture of Tyra, and she looked a bit thicker than
yeah,
normal. And so what did she do? She wore that
yeah.
same sweet swimsuit on the show and said, "This is me, this is my cellulite, this is my thighs and everything." Also, Tyra Banks has been putting plus size models on top model even from the beginning of the cycles. There are a few of them who've been on.
Yep.
So while I agree that yes, at the time she thought differently and she has evolved. The only difference I have is that I think she knew what she was doing. She was playing into the cameras and the entertainment angle of the show at the time. And that's part of the mistake she made, and now is not where she is anymore. I always thought that the show was more for entertainment and isn't really, too much of what the model stuff is about. And there are numerous models, Da Costa, many of them. I'm putting something that have said that what happened on that program traumatized
The
them
show.
and it dealt with them. So I am saying that there has to be balance. Those people are valid in their criticisms and their concerns, and I cannot tell them how to feel about Tyra. Tyra, to them,
Fair.
Tyra and the production, because Tyra Banks was also the producer of the show. People seem to forget that. Nobody was pulling her like a puppet. She created the show, she produced it, she edited it. For some reason, she also started taking pictures of the. I was like, okay, Tyra, you're not a photographer. And then,
Wow.
so she kind of had all the control to make this show what it could be. And it is a bit of a disservice, I feel, to those people who have been wrong. Because Tyra doesn't know what her words. Because think of it, when Tyra said this, she was Tyra Banks. Denola was just Denola Adepeton. He was government name. He wasn't Denola Gray yet. He was just a student in school, right? If your idol now was to tell you that you are useless, you are fat, you are ugly, and some random person with 200 followers tells you the same thing, it's not going to hit you the same. So it's the same things they did, but the effect it could have had on people is not the same. Now, Denola now, right? And I believe in all his years, since he's been in the media eye, he has never been somebody who has fat shamed people or body shamed people. He's all about inclusivity and love and light. So I am now confused because now cancel culture works in the sense that someone like Donald Trump now, or David Duke, or Donald Duke, no, David Duke, not Donald Duke, who have just been the same. David Duke has been tweeting about white saviors and being better than black people since he was 17. His views have not changed, right? So, in that sense, right, that is somebody you can say, this is your pattern of behavior. Denola's pattern of behavior is not to fat shame people. And if it was a situation where Denola was like, going at somebody or insulting them, I would understand. But that's not what he was doing. So it was unnecessary in this to even try and like at the end of the day, it was just for clout. And I even went further because me, I am just we are all jobless, it's quarantine, there's nothing to do. So I watched his page for the whole day. And the way he was,
and he was replying. I know
And he was interacting with people who were supporting him and who were against Denola. He was replying only to those who were insulting Denola. So that showed me what his motive was. Somebody asked him, why hasn't Denola blocked you? And I'm happy that Denola did not block him. And he now said, that we are guys. And we saw, I was like, who is your guy? Who? When did this sort out with Denola? Because to my knowledge, that did not happen. So this person, your character is also questionable. And if by some miracle you're listening to this, I think you should focus inward on what is making you worry people on the internet for no reason. because it's
You
ridiculous.
said it by some miracle.
My
You said it by some miracle.
listen, stranger things have happened. So it blew my mind when I saw that response. But I think to the greater question of cancel culture, right? There are very few people I cancel people for racist things. I
Because
cancel people
yeah,
for bigoted
Emmanuel,
statements.
also, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I want to remind you of Camila Cabello. I mean, Camila, what's her name?
Camila
Camila
Cabello,
Cabello,
yeah.
the girl from,
Fifth
the girl
Harmony.
from Fifth Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she had like a Tumblr, and
Mm-hmm.
then people were like, I think the times that she wouldn't like call Normani a monkey, like she still had some racist
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, people, especially the black, because somebody people always just make fun of her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like although she apologized, yeah, I just feel like it's something like now if you Nigeria are lucky, like we forget things immediately. Like like I'm sure like after this whole corona, something else is hot on the tail. Like people have forgotten about it. But I'm saying with the cancel culture thing now, some people now from now will just make it look like this girl is racist. I hate her black. I don't want to associate anything with her. So what do you think about that?
I mean, that's also a very unique situation for a few reasons. First of all, when they were insulting Normani, Camila was silent for almost 3 years. She didn't say a word. She did not tweet. She did not tell her fans to back off. And that's part of what made the vitriol go on. It was like, I don't understand. You have to be seeing this. There's a whole website where people are posting, and it was serious. They were posting a noose round Normani's neck. They were picturing her as him. These were serious things. And Camila was just silent. So I'm wondering, like, this is your bandmate. You're seeing her on tour every day, and you don't feel like you should address what your fans are doing. That's the first thing that added fuel to that particular fire. The second thing is the racial dynamics in America also played into it because a lot of Latinos, Hispanics, I don't know if I'm getting the term right, have a little bit of friction with the black community in America because there are many Latinos, like, if you watch Love and Hip Hop, Amara La Negra, not every Latino looks like Shakira, right? But in Brazil and a lot of Latin countries, the Brazilians that are put forward are those who are lighter, those who have silky hair. Meanwhile, most of Brazil is black. 70% of Brazil or something is black people because Brazil was the second largest slave trade port after America. Or was it the largest? Anyway, there's a significant number of black people in Brazil. And when you think of Brazilian hair or Brazil, the first thing that comes to your mind is Shakira, Eva Longoria, what's the other? Sophia.
Puerto Rican,
exactly. But that is not so. That friction played into the responses. So it wasn't like, oh, this is just a too random. So those were the dynamics I feel that made that situation very testy. Also added to the fact that, let's be honest, most of the stans of the internet are under 21. So they don't have time and they're silly and they don't think before they tweet. So that's stan culture is a mess. Like the overwhelming number of stans are teenagers. So they are very much in that sense where in 9 years too, they will look back on what they tweeted and say, oh my God, that's so ridiculous. So we have to also know that many of these people tweeting are not necessarily mentally developed.
It will take a lot in me for you to catch me having this argument online. Like it will take a lot. It has to be something like maybe that day I was jobless. There's a time recently when I think they're having some Beyonce versus Rihanna argument.
I would never partake in
such. No. So I saw it. I saw it too because it was like I don't like about. I will leave Twitter, go to Instagram, and come back to Twitter, and the argument is still hot, and like people were fighting, who were dead on the line. So but me, I'm just like, for me, I feel like I'm an older member of the Hive. Like I'm not trying to form ages or anything. I'm just like,
but that's the fact of the matter now. That's the fact of the matter. Your brain
thing can never just
develop until you're like 22 or 23. So it's science, my dear.
I'm just like that. there are things you can never just see. No more that, but some people who were older than me were still online fighting. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, I feel like it's a thing of who you are. At the end of the day, like age has to do, but it's depends on yourself and your upbringing and how you do yourself. I feel like the people, especially people who just, I think maybe another day we'll talk about like trolls and like online etiquette and the rest. But I feel like if you are somebody who has love and peace within yourself, you will not be out here trying to just inflict pain and cause things to other people. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you really, really
I
do
don't know. So someone tweeted that statement was like, "Oh, if you have things to do, you won't have time to be writing." And while I agree, because again, I am somebody who believes in cancel culture and social media outrage because this young gentleman, rest in peace, Ahmad, what's his name? Oh, I forgot to write his name. Oh my god! And he was killed on my birthday. The black guy who was jogging and was shot by two racists who have thankfully been arrested. I'll find his name and put in the comments. Rest in peace, you know. And if not for social media, that case would have gone unsolved till God knows when. Right? There are many valid pieces of the social media mob and of mob mentality and of cancel culture. Bill Cosby is another example.
Of course.
Bill Cosby was dragged and R. Kelly. And I just feel like, you know, it's kind of the thing with free speech. If you want there to be the good effects of free speech, you have to allow all kinds of speech because you can now say what is good or bad. Like
you can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose.
And that's the only downside of cancel culture, the fact that people who are innocent are going to get burned.
It's like Pandora's box. You know, open it,
exactly. With the whole Me Too thing, somebody accused, what's his name, Aziz Ansari, of Me Tooing somebody. And it was false. It didn't happen that way, but he almost lost his job because he was just swept in under the whole, Harvey Weinstein and everybody. But he didn't actually do anything wrong. From what the case has said now, before they say Emmanuel is supporting rapists, I don't support rapists. Yeah. But from what has been produced from both him and the victim, nothing really transpired that was rape or sexual assault. Yeah. It was just being a creep. Yeah. Which, you know, that's also a topic I think we should have one. Maybe with somebody like Ozzy, because Ozzy can shine it. Because I feel like we're also in an area where if you're a creep now, they are trying to equate you to Bill Cosby. There's a difference between a guy who is creepy. It may lead to Bill Cosby down the line, but we are not there yet. Like, the guy is creeping on you. He hasn't raped you. So let's not, like, there's this, you're creeping on me, you're a rapist. It's like, no, there's, you know, I don't want to say let's give them time to become rapists because that's not nice. But not everybody who creeps on you is going to. I don't know. Anyway, again,
I think creep is the wrong word.
If I enter one chance, please let me just reverse because that's not the topic we're talking about. When we have more able hands to guide the conversation. So I think again, just to round up, because our last topic is about stands again, our music. I think, you know, unfortunately. If we want the good aspects of cancel culture and the internet mob, then we have to kind of just roll with the punches. Now, what I argued with only one person, and I argued with this lady for one reason. And once she got stupid, I muted the conversation. I didn't block her because I don't block people again because I want you to see me. I won't follow you, but you have to see me and see that I'm happy and you're miserable. I don't block people again unless it's really necessary. So this girl, she said, Denola hasn't apologized and he's cancelled. I was like, actually, 5 minutes after the tweet, he issued an apology. He said, I haven't seen it. I was like, did you go to his page? You're just here tweeting nonsense. And I put the link to his apology under her tweet for her to read. She now responded to me like 8 hours later, this is not good enough. An apology must have given me a what's it called, English lesson, but subject, object, and predicate. I said, girl, I don't know what you want to. That's what she said in the tweet. She was like, you must have an admission of guilt and a promise of change and a kid. I said, are you mad? I said, okay, I'm sorry, this apology does not fit your standards. I need peace. And I said, bye.
Giving her what is the man's
Dictionary.
name? No, Annalise Keating. What's her real
Oh,
name? What's her name?
Viola
What's her
Davis.
name? But you know the gift of her just standing up with her bag,
And
and I just put it
oh, I
there.
should have done that instead. But
I don't know.
I'm sorry it doesn't meet your standards. Peace, have a nice day. And I just muted the tweet because someone like that, I'm not going to be. I don't know you, you know.
Yeah,
So why am I going to go back and forth with you? So I just feel like his apology to me was sufficient, right? But I think we also need to those of you who may think is not, that's your opinion and your standard. Nobody is here to, I mean, he's not presenting to you, you know. And apology, he said what he did was wrong. He said he is no longer that way and he has changed. And more importantly, he has supported this change with his behavior and his actions in the past
yeah,
9 years,
yeah,
which to me is more
yeah,
important than saying sorry. I would rather you change behavior. There's a quote that says the best apology is change behavior. I would rather you change your
yeah,
behavior and don't even tell me sorry if you want. But if I see that you've changed, I'm like, oh, this actually, you learned from what you did and you're not going to do the same thing to somebody else. That's all I need from you. So I don't know what more you people need from him, Sha. He has apologized. Those of us that know him know this is not how he is. And those of you who are still pressed, then you have a lot of time to do ironing because we're in a pandemic. So enjoy.
wow.
That's that. I mean, that's just it.
Not
Because it's
gonna
like,
lie.
no, that's all. Do you have
No,
any
the
more
thing
to
is, the
say?
thing is like, that's the no. I know. Here's the thing. Like, I just want to be. I want because if I was me, I'm trying to take myself out of this and be like a
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
random listener or like an average
Yeah.
listener because also I'm sure from our tone and how we are speaking, we're a bit more passionate just because it's
It's
somebody
somebody
we
that we know.
know
Yeah.
and we know how he is inside and out. You get
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people. So sometimes it hits close to home when it's somebody you know. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
trying to look at it as the outside person coming in. Like, yes, the
Mm-hmm.
tweet was stop posting about people's body.
Yeah.
Literally, let people be. And why you now want to try and tarnish that image is just questionable at the end of the day. If you take anything from that, just take that part. That's all. Yeah, I don't know.
All
I
right.
ready to talk about
Our final
Queen.
topic, and
Oh,
for
that's not me.
by some miracle, I'm going to attribute this to the power of talking about Beyonce. We've not been cut off by the service we are using, and it's past the time limit,
Oh,
but here we
really?
are
Wow.
still going on, and we've not been told to
Queen
close.
V.
So,
Everything's not too close.
we've not been, my dear, the government has not come to
They
pack
don't come to
us.
pursue us.
We are still here. They haven't closed the gathering. We're
Oh
still
my
here.
God, you're so stupid. You are
So much love it. This is the power of talking about Beyonce. Yeah. So the final topic, last week I think, Abby. Yeah, last week because one week will be on Monday. Last week Beyonce and Nicki Minaj dropped some tracks, some
Mm-hmm.
remixes, to bless our quarantine season. And
The
both
queen.
of these had been rumored for a long time, and people were just like, people couldn't believe the Megan one because I mean Beyonce is like, wow. But the Say
Yes,
So
yeah, like it
remix
happened.
actually
Yes,
leaked
yes.
already. So yeah, so what do you think of both of the songs?
I'll start with Savage Remix.
Hmm.
Shout out to Blue Ivy, the best manager in the world,
My
you
dear
know.
AR manager, producer, tour
um,
manager,
um,
set
um,
designer, she does it all.
no, so I feel like Beyonce, and there's the thing about American people, I feel, and it's different from Nigeria because if you
Hmm.
notice here, Americans, they love representing where they are from. Like, I don't know,
Like their
like, New Yorkers will
states.
always tell you they're from New
Yeah.
York. Yes, and I'm just like, you don't see me shouting, yeah, Delta, man, Delta, in the house. Like, it's,
My
like,
day. Oh my God,
Nigeria, we
Anambra in
don't
the
have, like,
house. Woo, woo, woo.
no. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a thing I don't know it. It's not my life, so I don't understand it. Because I'm always like, Beyonce talks about hitting every time. Nicki Minaj will let you know Southside Jamaica Queen in New York. That's where she's from.
Because
Jay
that's how
Z does not have
they
a rap.
identify.
Jay Z doesn't have a rap in his life where New York is not mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Big Sean is from Detroit. Like, how do I know this? I'm just like, I don't understand why must you always say your I didn't get it.
Michael, are you not an
So
American? I'm confused.
yes, no, but my dear, Chicago was where I was born, Midwest. Oh yeah, who's from
Mhm.
there?
But
Kanye,
but but
Kanye from Chicago, yeah.
dynamic.
No,
So
but
I have some books
but
for you to read about America and race stuff because I think it will help you. It will help you
okay.
understand many things that
Anyway,
happen in America.
the real winner of this whole thing, if you think
What is
about it,
this
I'm
dog
still on
barking in
salvage
the
rate.
background? What the fuck is this? Oh my
It's
god.
okay, don't worry.
Continue, please.
Because
The real
I'll try and
winner.
speak over it. So the real winner is Rock Nation, and I'll tell you why. Because if you really peep it, the weeks before this whole thing happened, Megan had issues with her record label, and
Mm-hmm.
she got signed. She signed. She didn't get signed by Rock Nation, but
No,
she
their
signed management. I
distribution
don't know how
and
to deal with
something.
it.
Management
Her
and
management,
distribution.
yeah, she signed something to Rock Nation. So
Mm-hmm.
me, when I now heard that Beyonce was on so first of all the track didn't even come out. As in, first of all, how it happened was there was a 30-second leak already, and as
Mm-hmm.
we were still trying to see and understand if it was because me, I was just like, this is not Beyonce. This is probably that Jade Nova girl, that girl that can do Beyonce impressions. Like I said, that's what I thought
Please
this
don't
was. I
kill
was
me. You
like,
said this Jade Nova. I'm crying.
because I'm just like, yes, I'm serious. Yes, because I just like I feel like it just don't happen. So I was just like, maybe for me now rush, we go to go and kill them. Because if you really remember, if you keep it, Cardi, when Cardi first of all started, there was a rumor that Beyonce had a song with Cardi. I'm not sure if you remember. And Cardi now had to tweet some sort of like something, guys. Like it was almost a thing. Like I think either they had the song and never came out. So I think because it leaked that they were about to have a song, the whole thing just ended like that. So I was just like, But I was just like, Megan is still 2 years in the game. Like there's no way you have to be a Nicki
Mm-hmm.
Minaj. You have to. As in, Beyonce doesn't work with just anybody. She doesn't do features. You have to be J Balvin that she did the song. He's well known in his space. Shakira is Shakira for God's sake. Nicki is Nicki. Like Justin Timberlake. Like these are people that she has done features with.
Collaborated with.
Kanye, Usher. Yeah, collaborated. And like these are household powerful names. Not just anyone, especially in female rap where the girls no shade have like 2 to 3 rap tenures and they are done. Do you get me? So I was just like, for you to just, so I feel like me I just feel like part of the whole deal and the whole thing to Rock Nation. Not that I feel like I felt like this was the and also there's a feature of Beyonce on the dotted, just sign the dotted line, and like I just feel like it was a good move because Jay-Z owns Rock Nation.
My
I
dear,
think
if
so.
it's
You
you,
have
you
to
will
believe
not
that.
sign. Ah,
No. I'll say it
dear,
now,
quickly.
but do you get what I mean? I just felt like, okay, as you're an artist, you are eligible to these are the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like they dangled it in her eyes to make her leave 1501 her
I
record
mean,
label. So I
that's
feel
why
like
she
that.
left. She
I feel
left
like
because she had greater opportunities than she was
yes,
getting with 1501, which is a very
That,
valid
that, that,
reason.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when you sign a new artist, you want to offer them the very best to me, to give them and make sure that okay, this is what you can offer, this is what you can give you. And now that it helps the man, like at the end of the day, the sales and everything still goes back to Rock Nation now. To get a license, it was a good business move for them to make. And for the song, I lived for it, loved it. I've been so proud of it. The thing about Beyonce is that, and I think it's so strategic. She doesn't really. This is just comes in and out. Like 2 years ago, you will hear. As in, you don't hear a feature. You just be seeing an Instagram pictures. That's it. So when you say you're starved for somebody's music so much that, first of all, I feel like anything she comes out, anything she brings out, we just enjoy just because we are starving.
Because
But the thing
that's
is,
the
it's not
same thing
even like that.
Adele does. Sneaky bitch.
But the thing is, listen, she's now, and I love this rapping, I love this
Listen,
arrogance. Like, I live for it. Like, I was like,
I've been
I'm
saying
tired of
that
you being humble.
any four female rappers have released songs last week. That's my take on
Yes,
the story.
yes. See, I don't know. So I guess how many people they said Jay-Z wrote some. They said Jay-Z wrote some verses. They said Dream wrote some verses. I don't care. She said
I
the
mean, Jay-Z's
rapper.
name is
A
not
rapper
on
is somebody
the
who can
writing
rap.
credits, but
So
yes, the Dream is on the writing credits,
it
but Jay-Z is
is
not. It's not on my iPod.
Jay-Z is a
What's
chef.
Jay-Z's name? I don't see Sean Carter. I only saw the Dream.
The one on title I saw.
Is there
But
title
man,
edition?
I don't whether whether they wrote it for her, whether she didn't write it. Man,
Her
a
delivery,
rapper can be defined
my
as
dear.
somebody who can rap. So she delivered. Only fans now have 15%, has moved up 15% to talk about whatever.
Yeah,
And
that's the
everything is good. So
only.
I live
That's
for
my
it, I
only
love it.
little
I'm just angry
gripe
that
with that. I mean, I guess we
I'm
can
just angry
table
that
that for future.
I'm just
I'm not a fan of
I'm just angry
OnlyFans.
that I'm just angry that normally post Corona, after if it wasn't Corona, we would have gotten it. I'm sure we would have gotten a visual. I'm so positive of that would have gotten a visual. So I love that she's shouting out her Texas, her Houston side. And let me tell you literally what this thing did for me. Literally, I kid you not. It just made me. It spoke to me on a deeper level, and just to be real, because it just made me feel like, listen, Megan has been working. Megan has been working prior to these 2 years of her success. She has been rapping since 2006. She has been in the game for a while. Not mainstream, but like jiggers, rapping and living. So it's just like, think about it. Like, beyond, I'm sure she never ever dreamt, like, never ever dreamt. Because there was an interview she did like a year before. This asked her which kind of picture would you want on that. She said Beyonce. And the way she said it, you will know when, she didn't even say it's belief. Like, she was just like, you know how you just shoot for the moon? And I'm just like, that just means that literally anything is possible if you just keep working. So like that's what I took from the whole thing, in the sense of like, yo, if you keep working hard at it, like everything, like the sky is just the limit that you can actually. So that's what that whole thing spoke to me is, because you can't.
Oh my God, what's going on with this Wi-Fi? Jesus Christ! Go on.
Well, what's happening?
No, your sound was bouncing.
Normally, you can put your song as a cute. So you can put your song as a cute Instagram video, highest, or like you can put it in her. But for her to feature, and she didn't feature, like she didn't give you a verse and she left. Do you get what I mean? They went back.
I mean, because that's not what a remix is. FYI.
But I was just like, I lived for it. Now, jumping over to Tito, I live for Nikki. I love Nikki. Doja Cat, to me, my own opinion, no, she hasn't grown yet on me. So still give me time to the Doja Cat hive. I don't know what you call that hive, but she hasn't really grown kittens on me. I literally, like, I kid you not, and I'm not trying to be shady. The first time I listened to Tito remix, I listened to Tito original song.
Before you listen to what?
I'm not being shady. Like, I listened to the original. I listened to the remix before I listened to the original song.
Oh no,
I'm telling you, so like, I'm not really just. She hasn't really grown on me like that. The only song for Doja Cat I know I love and I live for is the song from
Harley Quinn.
Birds of Prey.
That's Boss Bitch.
Yes, Boss Bitch. Boss Bitch. That's the only song of Doja Cat I know I love and I stand. The rest, not sure yet, but hopefully the time should go on me. So, but I love that Nicki came and did the necessary. Nicki just, Nicki Minaj features and Nicki Minaj features actually entered that thing too, and like her features are always iconic. So I love what that was. What I was not a fan of was not the whole, after the whole, like how normal dance Twitter, from the fact that these people came out of nowhere and gave us two good songs to enjoy during this period. It had to be a competition. It had to be stamped. You could not just let the song enter and let it just. It has to be who versus who. Oh, Beyonce is actually insulting Nicki. Nicki is insulting Beyonce. And then, to be honest, Doja said, oh, please, guys, let this song get number one. I'll show you my series or whatever. Megan started saying, please, guys, I want this song to be number one. So, to them, they are new artists. They need a number. They need these records to break. Nicki and Beyonce, they've had records. They don't, like, Beyonce doesn't perform.
Beyonce doesn't care about number one. Yeah.
So, do you understand? So, but like, I can understand new artists try to strive for that. Do you get what I mean? So, because I feel like they still do type of things to validate them, and they will like, they have fan bases and they want to break records, so I understand that.
My dear, Nicki has never had a number one by herself, so it's fine. You'll be all right.
Do you get so I did just like the fact that it became a versus this stage. I would really say like say below the belt. I'm just like, no, it shouldn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what they. I mean, that's not where it was. And then people started digging the fact that Nicki was shading Beyonce, but God so good. Yesterday, I believe first she was on Twitter and she cleared the whole thing of saying like she loves the fact that there are four powerful black women on the spot, and like that's something we should like. That is a good thing. Take as in, it is a miracle that Beyonce featured Megan and Doja featured because I'm sure the Barb's and Doja Cat fans, because I know before the remix came out, this Stacey remix, they already said started doing like all these clips and putting like old Nicki Minaj verses on Stay So. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like all
Mm-hmm.
these beats and it sounded good. So I'm just like celebrate it. Like I'm sure because now what made me love Nicki more, as in, what made me start caring about Nicki was after feeling myself as in after like like what made me really interested in Nicki or what stamps it for me as a bar was half picture. So I'm sure like now a lot of Beyonce fans will not really give Megan an listening ear. People who really care for her, especially white, not white people, but
I mean, yes, white
especially like you know
people.
what I mean, like people who are not who are not familiar with rap or like this kind of thing, and as well as Doja and Nicki, like people that love Nicki now, so like enjoy that, enjoy the fusion instead of trying to start doing this versus this. So I'm just like, but if I love both songs, I'm not going to say I prefer one than the other, but I know the song I have on repeat on my phone, and it's savage. But I love
I mean,
I
that means
but
you
then I love I
prefer
love
one
I
over
love
the other, girl.
Pesos. No, I enjoy listening to one more.
Okay, that's good for you. Well, one of those songs was a remix, and the other one was not, in my opinion. Now,
Yeah.
I think that so we're kind of used to a certain kind of remix now that is just an extra verse from somebody else.
Yep.
And I think the
Yep.
general trend of the world generally is not very, music has changed. It's not necessarily about
Yeah.
being the best singer or having the best musicality, but
All about streams and numbers.
at the end of the day, whether it's that stupid yummy song by Justin Bieber or something, these are all, there are a lot of producers behind all these songs and everything. So I think there's still a case for talent being what, because if not for many of these producers, these artists will sound terrible and their songs will be shit.
Fair.
So I say all that to say
Fair.
that Beyonce has a standard, and that's kind of why she will always be in a lane for herself. And I've been obsessed with Nicki for the past year because since the whole Cardi thing, because I feel like Beyonce has suffered. If you've listened or watched any documentary about Destiny's Child or about how Beyonce started out, there was a website dedicated to writing hate mail to Beyonce. They used to send hate mail to her when Latoya and what's her name, Latavia, left the group because they said that Beyonce was the one that broke them up. And at this time, Beyonce was 18 years old, right? This woman has been through a lot. She has been through a lot, right? And I feel like when she now got to her solo career and got rid of Michael and his cheating self, she was just like, my dear, at the end of the day, I'm going to sing my song and go home. And if you guys want to fight about it, that's your business. She literally does not comment on anything. She's in her house doing her songs and living and taking care of her children. And think of like, who do we have? Like any of the legends now who are alive, right? Like a Celine Dion of, well, Mariah likes to fight sometimes, so she's not really a good example. But even Mariah doesn't argue that
100.
much with people. Celine Dion, I don't think I've ever seen her arguing with anybody. Say what you want to say
Yeah.
about her and her life, right? I think Nicki has reached a point where her talent is undeniable. Anybody saying Nicki Minaj can't rap is just being silly and saying it for the point of
Yeah.
being devil's advocate. Anybody saying that
Yeah.
she's not musically talented and she's not creative and she's not one of the best rappers, period, male or female in history, is
Yep.
just saying it to
Yep.
argue with you. So I feel like if it's me knowing all this, right, I have the money, I have the wealth. I don't even need to ever touch my phone to tweet or to do Instagram. Beyonce doesn't tweet at people. She's busy, you know. So I feel like Nikki has reached that point now where she's
That
like,
is so shady. She said she's busy.
she's busy, she's busy, and it's like, like even with the Cardi thing, like
I
say
love
what
it.
you want to go on, move. Don't be going back with fans, with normal human beings like everybody else. Why? What's the point of arguing with them?
It's a dog howling at the moon type of situation, but she didn't see it
It's
like
like,
that.
no, she needs to step into her status and stop arguing with these people. All that being said, Savage for me was leagues and miles ahead. And I think the original Say So is better than the new one that she redid, because the new one just really felt like two things that did not really fit together properly. It was very disjointed.
Cut and paste.
Exactly. And that's what
But
I'm
you know,
saying that,
but you know, they're like two remixes of Face Stone. I didn't even say that. You know, there's another one
that's
now.
what I
Where Nicki
just
is
said, Mikey,
like
that the first one was better than the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one leaked.
I thought she said better than the original song.
No, the first Say So remix is better than the second one that they released. And they released both of them eventually. So But the first one was more cohesive. And I just feel like, again, as a legend, part of the reason why, like, if I'm going to work with Michael Jackson, I expect to raise my standard to meet him. I don't expect him to come down to meet me. Sure, you get. So Nicki should have been like, I'm Nicki Minaj. This is the level I need. This thing has to sound good. It has to sound like we are both here in this booth. Let's make it sound like that. Till it sounds like that, don't release it. Right? Because you can tell that the Savage remix was produced from the background vocals to the verses. My dear,
he said produced.
It was. And even like the subject matter, what Nicki Minaj was rapping about, like, Say So is a cute song, is a disco record, is very breezy. We don't need any shots. I mean, she can do whatever she wants. So I'm just saying that it kind of broke the vibe of the song to start hearing. I was like, that's not what Say So is about. And Nicki is very good with matching her rhymes with her music, usually. So I was surprised. I was like, you have a song with Willow Smith where you managed to make a match. So this should not be that difficult. But I just think that personally, even this aside, Nicki has become a little bit complacent, because it's kind of like how we talk about how Tiwa Savage doesn't perform anymore because she doesn't have to. And she just goes on stage and just shouts and leaves and takes money. It's kind of like Nicki maybe feels like she doesn't have to exert that pressure, because I didn't like Queen. I love all her albums apart from Queen. Queen was weird. Half of the album was good, the other half was just like weird, which can be an experimental thing, which is fine. But I think like when you, again, because we're comparing these two songs, right? And only for the purpose of these songs, not to pit them against each other. When you hear Beyonce's records, Celine Dion's record, Michael Jackson's songs, the quality is like you have a standard that you're expecting. So I just want Nicki to always meet that standard. I know it's hard. It's not easy. We watch Homecoming. We watch This Is It with Michael Jackson. Getting that level of perfection is not easy. It's difficult. It's hard. Everybody can't do it. That's why there's only one Beyonce, one Nicki Minaj, one Michael Jackson, one Jay-Z, one the rest. But you have to kind of give people what they know you for, quality-wise. And I don't feel like Say So Remix delivered that. Now, the issue of pitting people against each other, particularly women, particularly black women, particularly black female rappers, blows my mind. I think it was Kid Fury that said this on the read. All the young this, young that, little this, little that. I thought Lil Baby and Da Baby were the same person. I didn't know they were two different people. They all have the same name. They're all rapping about the same thing. Doja Cat sounds nothing like Megan Thee Stallion. Their music is different, it's unique. They both have very good music. There's no reason to compare them together. Yet, people are doing that. But Young Thug, Lil Thug, Big Thug, Medium Thug, but all of them are just all together and nobody ever disturbs them. And it's very annoying because it's like, first of all, these female rappers are better than 80% of the male rappers easily. So why are you even disturbing them? Like why do male rappers have this free pass to just do their quality of music is not even good. So it's kind of like why is it automatic? And it happened with Nicki and Lil Kim. It happened with Nicki and Remema. It happened with Nicki and Cardi B. It's happening now with Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat. And I'm worried because he always starts out like everybody's being amicable, and then slowly, because people are human. If someone keeps whispering in your ear, this Megan girl is coming for you, this Megan girl is think she's all that, you too will start to feel weird, right? For no reason. And one day you might just take a shot, and next thing you know, you are Kerry Hilson. My dear, please. We don't need this. And Kerry Hilson's new song is really good, by the way. It's a jamming Afrobeat song, and I've missed her voice. Actually, I like Kerry Hilson, but her attitude is not the best. But she's a wonderful music person.
My number one candidate.
That song is so cute. Okay. Anyway, yes, that's just in summary.
I feel like I sound horrible.
Well, dear, it's just we'll just blame it on the connection. So I just think we should stop pitting women against one another in an industry that there are not even enough women to start with. So it's like there's space for there to be 10 female rappers who are number one on the charts. It's not a scarcity situation. So why does this keep happening? Like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's still like, oh, this one represents 1501. This one represents Rock Nation. This one represents Young Money. Why? What's the point of doing? It's so stupid and it's silly and it has to stop. There are like 7 new small rappers that have come out this year, male rappers. I don't see them being pitted against each other, and their music is terrible. But, here we are in this situation because women. I'm tired of it. And it needs to stop. Okay? No more of that nonsense. Need to change that. And then, yes, I think that's kind of what. In one female competition that I enjoyed, since it just happened very recently, Jill Scott and Erica Badu. For those of you who like me,
oh my God, yeah,
I was awake till 3 a.m. Lagos time because it went for 3 hours. And at the peak, there were 700,000 people on live. You are hearing that right. Not 70,000, no. 700,000. And I was shook. All this, Michelle Obama was there. Dakore was there. Toke Makinwa was there.
Yeah, Toke was there. Everyone was there, yeah. Beyonce
Chloe and Ali.
And her spam account was there.
Listen, if Beyonce had joined with at Beyonce, the whole internet would have crashed. That would have been the end. You can't do that. You would have finished.
Just that I really want this to write. Beyonce, I know you can see this. You're next.
So I really enjoyed that because honestly, it just reminded me, because I'm huge fans of both of these ladies, more so Jill Scott because she's from Philly, and when I was in Philly, I really got to get into her music and see her live. I haven't seen Erica live before, so I'm a huge fan of Jill Scott, but I also like Erica Badu. I really like her music, and just seeing them talk about love and light and music and life as the mature women they are. Jill Scott's son came on, Erica's kids came on, and I was like, oh, this is so cute.
Yeah.
And for 3 hours, we were thoroughly entertained. That is a discography. Some of your faves can't do that because after 15 minutes, they have nothing more to play. So it's just like, we have to respect the great. So that was amazing. It was just and seeing like all the comments, everyone was so excited and so happy. Everyone was so like warm in the comment section. No insult. Literally, nobody was insulting anybody.
Yeah, it was like his vibe.
Nobody was fighting.
Very good vibe.
And like that's the energy that they attract. I'm sure if it was Nicki versus somebody now, some idiot 17-year-old will be tweeting a stream say so. I don't understand these people. But but it's also like, what
did you say stream say so?
Yes.
Hate you so much.
But while I was looking at the numbers, I had a question because both Jill Scott and Erykah Badu have released albums this decade. And it's kind of
The
like,
numbers didn't do well, Abi.
exactly. So I'm kind of like, all this excitement, why does it never translate to album sales
Translate to
for the
sales.
legendary artists? Because many of the legends, even when Babyface did his own, people were gagging, they crashed Instagram. But it's just like, is it
Yeah,
that you
because things don't
people,
sell. It's
I don't
they love
know.
the old shit, not the new stuff.
But the old thing and the new thing sounds the same. Jill Scott is not like,
I think
she's on her what, fifth album, fifth or sixth album. So she hasn't even
I
done
think
up to 10 albums.
it's some sort of nostalgia thing. I think
And can it not
I don't
make
know.
you
I don't
buy the
know.
music? Because even today on iTunes, all the albums were in the top charts. Must they be doing versus first?
See,
Buy the music, stream it, Ogini, please. Let people know that you
you
want
know
them
this
because
is
they're record labels now. And why many of them are doing this versus thing is because they want to send a message to their record labels that CEO, I still have 700,000 people. If I have a new
yep.
single, we can push it in this time and get all these eyes. Because 700,000 people, if they buy or stream your song on the first day, that's number one now. Is it not? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
kind of. So like, please translate this into sales and please, I beg you. If you like their music, play it and listen so that they can have money and record deals. But that was really nice. And so, okay, so parting question: who do you want to go next in the next versus battle against any
Um,
genre of music? Who do you want to see
I'd like
next?
to see it. I would love to see. I'd love to see Nicki versus Jay Z or Nicki versus Lil Wayne. Like I don't see Nicki with a female rapper, but I want Nicki. I want Nicki to be against a rapper. Like I think Drake. Nicki to go against Drake. Let's see for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you,
So,
all
so
features.
you feel
There's
like
Nicki
Nikki is ready to give two
like a
hours
young
of.
money, like a young money thing. I feel so literally. Then obviously, I would love to see the legend. They're so cheesy. I love to see Rihanna versus Beyonce just for old times, just for the stand in me
That's
to
fine.
just see. I feel like it should be legendary though because
Mm-hmm.
although Beyonce is longer in the game, solo Beyonce can. I mean, let them do minus Destiny Child hits.
I mean, they
Let's
have to do
remove
minus
Destiny Child.
Destiny Child, girl. How can they put Destiny Child
Yeah,
inside?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
also,
So I'm just
Beyonce's
like,
solo material is stronger than Destiny's Child, so we don't even need it. Okay.
exactly. So I'm just like, I can't wait to see what that would look like, what that would sound
Because
like.
I'm not going
And
to lie, during that Beyonce and Rihanna checklist, I had difficulty because Rihanna is a strong contender. Some of
Rihanna
her
is a strong
songs are
contender.
Rihanna has hits. Rihanna has
I want,
fucking
I want, I
hits.
want, I want, I want a Gaga versus like Britney or Madonna, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay.
I
That's
want,
interesting.
yeah, yeah, God, or like bring all the pop girls out. Bring Pink, bring Ariana, bring everybody out. Let's see what they can. Because me, I love pop. I
Well,
really
I
do
mean,
love
I
pop.
don't know about let's relax. I don't know about Rihanna. Let's relax, okay?
So
Let's
yes,
relax.
like
No, no,
the
she
amount
probably has the
you are
discography
a
to feel
hidden
it.
gentleman.
No, Ariana has not given us like the way people felt yesterday. That's decades of
Yeah,
following
yeah, yeah. I
somebody.
get it. Yeah.
Ariana is a
You
baby.
need
We don't want
10,
her.
you need 10 years and above.
I'll tell you what they can do. They can have old school and new school so that it's separated. And instead of Ariana, because let's have the writer. Let's have Victoria Monet,
So
and
this
let's
wow.
have her versus Esther Dean. That's who I want
Can
to
I say
see
something?
because those two
Can I tell you something?
ladies have written
Can I say something?
songs. What?
I feel like to be like just my opinion. I'm sure this might sound ignorant, but I don't care. Yeah. To blow as an American artist, I feel like, or to have a record label that is moving, I feel like it should not be hard after this whole versus thing because you can see the legends who are producers.
It shouldn't be
You
hard
can see
after
the
what?
legends, like after this whole versus battle. Because if you check, I noticed how Beyonce used to move. Most of when all the producers and songwriters, Sean Guys versus what's his name, The Dream,
Beyonce songs
they
were
were just
there.
throwing Beyonce songs up and down. David versus Timbaland, they were throwing Beyonce songs up and down. I'm just like, you can see the best of the best of the best of the best. That's when Steve Strawberry, Steve whatever was doing versus who was he doing versus? Wait, he wrote Cause he wrote not. Hold on. Let me try to find his name.
Who are you,
He's
are you
something
referring to?
and who is the guy that sang Back Your Ass Up? That wrote Back Your Ass Up.
Juvenile.
That did the Eh?
Juvenile, the rapper. That's what we're talking about.
No,
Though.
but who produced it?
I don't know that battle you're referring to.
He shot it. There was a battle about something and one guy like this shot. He was the one that did. He played Naughty Girl. He played Upgrade. He played like see, this is like you can tell how Beyonce was moving. Do you get what I mean? She was only working with the best of the best of the best of the best. So I'm just like, if I own the record label now, it's just to how much will you pay the Dream to write me a song? How much would I pay Timbaland to give me the beat? Like, I just feel like
Michael.
no.
I think you might want to reverse a little bit because it is expensive. It's not how you pay them through your nose for them to write you.
Emmanuel, I'm saying as of now, I don't understand how no shade, and this is no shade at all. Kelly Rowland is making something called coffee out here in the street.
Because Kelly Rowland doesn't work with any of those people.
You don't get what I'm trying to say. It's a thing where, like, unless she doesn't want to hit, like, I'm just saying, I feel like these are hits, these people now. I'm not saying a regular artist should pay them, no. I'm saying record labels who signed, like, before Tinashe brought out a new album, like, I'm not saying, like, big record labels who have millions of dollars. It will take nothing for you to bring somebody who can belt and blow notes, who has a particular look. I'm just saying it's easier to. Back in the day, it used to be one person as a singer. They expected you to know how to sing, how to write, and how to do everything. And it's only the singer versus producer. Do you get what I mean?
Not necessarily.
But now,
not necessarily.
I'm saying back in the day. I'm saying back in before songwriting was a thing. Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay. People. But like, Houston didn't write any of her songs. Celine Dion didn't write most of her songs. Like, people don't really. It's always been a mixed industry of writers and singers and producers.
Fair. So, but what I'm saying now is, I'm saying now as a record label, as Columbia Records now, I feel it's easy to produce, or like what is not like I don't know how it is in Egypt, but I'm just saying, do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
normally if I'm trying to follow Beyonce's footsteps or the rest,
I would suggest
it's not just to.
I would suggest you read. There's L.A. Reid has a book that he wrote, and if you can find somewhere to read Tinashe's story, record labels are demons. They are devious, and they only care about money. And they only push. It seems like they only channel their efforts to a certain kind of artist with a certain look. Right? So keep Kelly Rowland in your mind and what she looks like. And a certain kind of artist with a certain sound. Keep Kelly Rowland's sound also in your mind. She's an R&B singer with some pop and electric. Not even pop. She's R&B and she's dance. Not even pop stuff. And that has a certain buzz or fan base that they have. Now, do they have the money to finance all their artists properly? Yes, but they don't do that. Tinashe's label had Tinashe, he had Zayn Malik. I believe Ariana is also on that. I'm not sure about Ariana, but he had Tinashe and Zayn Malik, right? And that's now when Normani is. And we can see what's happening with Normani now. Record labels do not care about artist development. They care about money and they care about sales. And then they don't care if you're working with Sean Garrett or The Dream because their own is just that, listen, all our energy is going to Ariana Grande. She's making us the most money. She's going to get the best producers and the best of everything. Everybody else you can fuck off. They don't care about it. That's the issue with record labels. If they were really caring about the music and the quality and the sound, then they should be pushing the best from all their artists. But that's not what they do because they care about money. They care about sales. And so many artists have spoken about this and how they suffer. And that's why many of them want to be independent. Because if I'm independent, that's why Tinashe, she went independent and did the album that she knows her fans wanted. And the album was #1 on iTunes without any label support. Okay. Labels are actually demons. Every single one of them, no matter how nice they smile at you, Because if you notice with even like think of Parkwood, right? And how for so many years people were like, oh, you signed Chloe and Halle, nothing is happening. That's because Chloe and Halle were undergoing artist developments. They were being built so that they can go forward without Beyonce and without Parkwood and stand on their own. As an artist, you cannot come out in the first year and you're releasing 7, 8, 10 singles and albums. Where has been the time for you? I mean, some people have had training before, but I believe that once you become famous, things change. It's not the same again. So you have to undergo from mental health to training to whatever it needs to be that these labels don't care about because they want you to get a hit, make them money and go. Ariana Grande had a mini breakdown like last year when Mark died and when Pete and her were, so and that gave us a window into like her personal life that this girl is actually going through some things though. But I mean, before then it was just like, Ariana Grande is just so I think, we have to be a bit more even with Kelly, Kelly is a dark skinned girl. Look across pop music where there are no dark skinned girls there. They are all in R&B or urban, quote unquote. Now, Normani is dark skinned. See how they're treating her now. How much of it is her fault, I don't know. But this is the same label that had that this girl Tinashe was on. So it seems like there's a pattern of behavior with that label where you focus on your biggest artists, and then when they are on their downtime, just abandon them. Because it makes no sense why Normani at this point has not been on everybody's Instagram live. It makes no sense why she hasn't been on every live and everything doing something. There's nothing in my WhatsApp. Okay. So it's kind of like, so I just feel, and this conversation is starting to segue into something else. But,
with music execs.
We'll call music execs. Exactly. So I think someone like maybe someone from Chocolate City or someone, or if we can get, someone from Parkwood, if you're listening. I know Beyonce listens to everything.
Actually meant someone from America. When you said Chocolate City, I'm like, yeah.
My dear, both. So
I meant from America. You said like,
there are just factors in these things that happen, So please, anyway, support your artists. That's the only way. Stream their music. Send them to number one. And let them know that there's support. Because Kelly, Kelly's new song is cute and it's actually excellently produced. The visuals were shot beautifully. But
I love the video.
Exactly. It's just not the kind of music that sells as fast as Savage or Say So and everything. Because the song is decent. Kelly's music has always been kind of at a certain level, and that's what to expect from her. And let's not forget, Kelly is extremely successful compared to most other artists.
Of course. And me, after watching Hollywood on Netflix to see how they and like particularly to see how like the behind the let's say how they choose the particular movie to come out. Or like you get what I mean? Like so I'm sure the music industry is like you the artist you can try and say, okay, this is something I want. And let's say the artist can even go out to use their own money.
And you can't release it because you're under contract.
And they'll tell you, okay, if you don't like this, I'm doing release it. And then, I can see it.
I've been watching all these biopics and seeing how they dealt with Tony Braxton and TLC, even the Dear Clark sisters. Everybody, labels are tricky. Just hope that you never have to be on their wrong side because it can drive you to drink and drugs. So just manage. But yeah, they've let us stay here for so long. I'm impressed by the power. Thank you so much, Parkwood, because I know that this was you.
I know, right?
So thanks for the plug. I will expect.
Guys, hope you enjoyed this.
The formation DVD in my email or my mailbox for my eyes only. I won't share it with anybody. So, yes, guys, we've given you a juicy comeback. Now, hopefully, when I'm editing this, it actually sounds listenable because this is part one of the battle. Part two begins in the editing room. So let's hope that you're receiving this the way we intend for it to sound. And if you made it this far to the episode, comments. What should they comment? Comments.
Congratulations, because Kevin Hart and his wife are expecting a baby girl. I
Okay,
just checked
so
it now.
do not comment congratulations because I don't care about any of these people. Comment Princess Love because she's divorcing Ray J. If you made it this far,
Yes,
if you made it
I
this
live
far,
for that.
write Princess Love in the comments. And
I never
never
really
know
discussed Tekashi 69.
who is that.
Don't worry, that's it.
Who is that? Is that Fifi? I'm not interested. Please, dear.
But look at see. Hold on, I just want to say something before we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of how people are now dragging Jason Derulo. I don't understand. Like, once they do as if we didn't enjoy.
I mean, they're not dragging.
And we did enjoy what you say. I'm just like,
they're not dragging Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo's music is good. That's why he has hits, a lot of hits. Jason Derulo's is a corny-ish person, and that's fine. Everybody doesn't have to be suave and Mr. whatever. Someone tweeted something that I think explained Jason Derulo perfectly. And they said Jason Derulo looks good on paper, but the execution is just missing. Something is missing there. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't really care. From a music standpoint, his music is good. He started off really strong and now it's just becoming repetitive. But he knows how to make a hit. He Swalla and all those songs, very danceable. They all sound the same, but they're all hits. I think he's a little bit corny, just a little bit, and it's fine. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think he should be dragged or insulted for how he is, and he's not trying to be fake or to be like somebody else. So I think that's a bit weird. His behavior is a bit funny, yes, but it's not a bad thing. People are different. Everyone can't act the same because they sing a certain kind of music. So I think it's ridiculous to hold him to a standard of acting a certain way. I like his music. He's cool. He doesn't fight anybody. He's not racist or any of the phobic. So he's a check mark in my book, I beg. I have nothing wrong with Jason. And my brother's name is Jason. So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
all right, guys.
And Tekashi, what's your back?
My name, not for shame. All the same, I say my name. Go to that.
I don't know why you keep saying that, dear. And I hope, so, listening to us, we'll be back. I'm toying with the idea of doing 2 episodes a week, one on Wednesday and one on Friday.
Yeah.
And if you hear us on Friday, I guess you will know our decision. So we will see you.
You hear Emmanuel alone. You hear Emmanuel.
We'll talk to you next week. Don't forget Princess Love. If you made it this far, you might get biscuits in the mail. Yeah. Budget.
All right, dude.
Thank you all. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.